Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to my not-a-devblog. Today, I want to talk about something that is not extremely well documented on the adventure creator documentation. When you create the game, you want it to work at different resolutions. So one thing you will do is select a target resolution. In my case here is 1920 by 1080. That will give me a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. But there are computers that run at 1610. They're ultra-wide monitors. Maybe there's people running the game on a window. So you want to do something to keep that 16 by 9 resolution. And I've seen plenty of adventure games that don't do this well. And so in this case, I'm trying to get a constant 16 by 9 resolution. So the thing is that if I click free aspect ratio, it will simulate a different window size or monitor size. And here I have these black bars. These black bars, the letterbox or pillar box, will try to keep the game at the 16 by 9 resolution. This is done by going in adventure game AC game editor, going to settings and scrolling down until you get to camera settings and fixing the aspect ratio at 1.778, that is 16 by 9. And then checking this render border camera. This will allow, if we don't press that, we won't get the black bars. The problem I'm having is that I have the inventory always on the top. And if it's at 16 by 9, it's fine, but the resolution changes. The black bars cover the inventory, and the inventory grows to the side if there's a wider resolution. So how do I fix that? Well, when creating a menu, in this case is the inventory, I'm having problems because the inventory is it has a canvas that it's stuck to the top. And that's why when I make the window bigger, it goes up behind the black bars. So the solution is very simple. You have to add this component. You have to add component, autocorrect UI dimensions. And you have to set it to 0, 1 in minimum anchor point and 1, 1 in maximum anchor point. I don't really know why. The documentation is not very clear on why. The numbers that are here by default are 0.5 in all the boxes, and that doesn't really work. But apparently these numbers do work. So if I run the game like this, now stretching the screen will also resize the menu, and that fixes that problem. One important thing of note is to always remember to use a canvas scaler with a scale with screen size with your target resolution and set it to 0.5. I always forget this one, and that's why when I change the resolution, some items appear bigger or smaller. The other problem I've been working on, and I still haven't found a solution, is the cursor. When in the editor playing the game, I get the pointer working, but when I run on export, the pointer starts behaving weird. So of all the settings I found to get it to work is to set the cursor rendering to hardware, have the main cursor in always, but I have to set a texture with the pointer that I want, otherwise it disappears. While using hardware, this alternate cursors will not scale down, so I had to change this icon and make it a 64 by 64 pixel. It was bigger, but I had to physically make it smaller. Otherwise, I would get gigantic icons. The cutscene cursor, I also had to put it to look the same as the main cursor. Otherwise, when the dialog system, the Pixel Crusher's dialog system gets active, the cursor would go away. And I was using the main graphic as also the cursor, but I had to create a cursor version with, again, 64 by 64 pixels. Otherwise, I would get gigantic cursors that would block the screen. Not doing this would sometimes get the result of returning an item to the inventory, but the main cursor not updating. So I would have Princess Leia or a Princess Leia hologram, big hologram floating around the screen, which I didn't capture, but it was a nightmare. I'm still not sure if this is the solution, but it's working. I tried the Unity UI cursor, which is the recommended setting by the AC documentation, but it was giving me these huge icons as the cursors. So I eventually settled on hardware. But again, I'm still not sure this is working 100%. One thing of note is that when importing a cursor, it's supposed to be set as a texture type, not editor GUI or sprite2d, but as a cursor. It should be set to point, not bilinear in the filter mode, and the format should be RGBA 32 bits. And always remember to press apply. Again, not sure why, but that's what the forums said. So that's it for today. I'm still having problems with the save system. There are a couple of bugs. There's a problem with the integration with the dialog system. But again, I haven't really dug deep into how it works. So yeah, thank you for watching, and hope this developer notes help you in some way.